Today, I'm going to talk about this current dip we're experiencing in the market right now and why it's actually getting quite scary. I'm also going to talk about something that will likely destroy most people who buy and trade altcoins this cycle. The topics I'm going to discuss today can really make or break your entire cycle. And with this current price action right now, it's really important you sit down and watch this video properly and make sure you watch it to the end. You can tell by the tone of my voice that things are getting a bit serious now. Before we start, nothing here is financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor. So first, let me really quickly take you through my bottom signal checklist that I developed in 2023. I used this to call the bottom publicly on August 5th, 2024, and also August again in 2023. And now we're going to use this checklist today to see if it works. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to go on Coin Analyze and then go to the daily chart, click on indicators, and type in global open interest, and you'll see over here aggregated open interest global. This shows you the interest for the entire market, including altcoins. This recent dip we've had has wiped $20 billion in open interest. For some context, the August 5th crash was only around 15 billion. So the destruction of wealth we're seeing right now is some of the greatest we've seen all cycle, and that's a significant point to consider and something I interpret as very bullish. Second thing, let's take a look at the liquidations of the entire market, including altcoins. So you just get the global one, and you can see that this is the most amount of liquidations we've had in the entire market all cycle. Something I talked about when I publicly called the bottom on August 5th was look for significant events that define the cycle, something you don't see often, extreme pivot points. I think with this, we're setting up to get one right now. No one can argue that this isn't a significant event. And the reason why these open interest wipes and liquidation events matter so much and why they're so good in helping us identify pivot points in the market is just think about what's going on. Basically, a lot of people are losing a lot of money. Their coins are being transferred to people who are smarter and more patient and people who will allow the market to go higher before taking profits. These massive liquidation events basically make the market more healthy and more sustainable. Number 3 on my bottom signal checklist is look for high time frame, obvious support. If we look at the altcoin index, it's a simple retest of the March 2024 all-time high. This level over here was significant and it stopped us in March 2024. It makes sense that this will now act as major support for the next rally. Of course, if we start closing significantly below this level, that would actually be very concerning for me. But so far, this looks like a completely normal retest. And this March 2024 zone is significant high time frame support region for the entire altcoin market. And finally, fourth on my bottom signal checklist is market conditioning. When you saw this crash today, what did you think to yourself? You thought, man, is it really going to be as bad as August 5th again today? Are we going to get another massive crash where I can't even bear to look at my portfolio? People still have that PTSD in their minds, and the bull market will end when they forget that PTSD and they no longer worry about that sort of stuff. So when you combine everything I've shown you in this video, when you combine the open interest wipe of $20 billion, the most liquidations we've had this entire cycle, the high time frame support we're currently seeing ourselves in, and also the fact that people still have PTSD from August 5th and this year in general, I find it difficult to build a case for how we go significantly lower from here. We have 4 very powerful confluence points. Of course, nothing is 100% guaranteed, but we play the probabilities. But let's put that aside a second. Look at the Ethereum chart. It looks like a perfectly normal daily trend retest within a bull market, coupled with max fear. Of course, nobody wants to see this start significantly closing below its daily trend, but for now, it's still intact. In early 2021, we did close under it a couple of times, but it recovered well. So if we do start losing it, it doesn't mean the bull market's over. But if you want my personal thoughts and my feelings of the market, I think given the current context of liquidations, the fear that we're seeing in the chats and on Twitter, I would say probabilistically the majority of the pain is over. But sometimes there's that little extra torture that the market puts you through. For example, Sol right now is at $204. Maybe you're like, okay, this is down 22% from the highs. I'm not too bothered. But if it gives a trip to like $185 or so, that's when the market starts scaring you. And people around you convince you it's going to $150, it's going to $120, the bull market's over. And they start forming narratives for why everything's going to go so much lower. And because the price has been dipping so bad, you start to believe it. But then it turns out that $180 or so ends up being the bottom, and then it goes and makes new all-time highs. Remember, it's not actually the price that you see when the market is dipping that scares you. It's the thought of this going way lower. But the thing you need to understand when these dips happen is that people who are just entering the market, who are way more inexperienced than you, are already thinking the exact same thing. They're panicking and they're thinking, what's going to happen if this goes down another 50%? They get spooked a lot more easily than you do, and they're the ones causing the price to dump to $190, and they mark the bottom. I want you to think about how you're feeling in this market right now, and then think about someone who's less experienced than you. Think about how they're feeling. They'd be feeling a lot worse, and because they're inexperienced, they're probably panic selling. Your emotions are literally getting priced into the market right now. Right now, we can even look at the Bitcoin chart, and no one's even getting scared over the Bitcoin chart. It's the thought of, oh my God, what's going to happen if Bitcoin goes to 90K? What's going to happen to altcoins if Bitcoin does that? That really scares us. Now, I'll discuss altcoins specifically in just a moment, but first, I want to tell you something really crucial. I think the number one thing that's going to destroy people in this bull market is that they underestimate how hard it is. They don't properly grasp just how difficult a bull market can get. I would argue a bull market is equally as exhausting and as difficult as a bear market. And the reason for that is because of how emotionally charged and volatile the bull runs can get. Take these prices, for example. How many times did you check the prices today? I've got friends who've recently joined crypto, and they're telling me how they're waking up at 3, 4 a.m. checking the prices of crypto because they're getting stressed out. Honestly, if you're in a great deal of pain right now looking at your portfolio, you need to get a hold of yourself, because if you can't handle it now, how are you going to manage a 50% dip in 4 days when your portfolio is 5x higher? BNB is how I got rich in 2021. I was buying it before it exploded down over here. Within no time at all, it went like 9, 10x, and I was literally euphoric over here. I remember the day I was literally euphoric. And then within just 4 days, I saw 50% of my money just vanish. I remember waking up on this day and I was looking at my portfolio and I was literally feeling depressed, even though I was still up so big from this point over here. And that just shows you how difficult bull runs can get. I remember throughout this entire period, we generally were thinking, what if this bull run is over and the bear market is coming? I didn't sell, and look what happened next. It's crazy. I'm telling you this to show you the reality of the bull run. You're going to swing from euphoric to depressed to euphoric so fast. And if you don't have measures in place to deal with that, I'll be honest with you, you probably won't last or make much money this cycle. But that's why I'm going to continue making videos like this for you, to give you a balanced, rational perspective throughout this entire bull run and during all season. Having someone who can give you analysis like this is really useful. So subscribe if you already haven't. There's going to be more ways the bull market is going to mess with you. You're going to sell one of your bags that hasn't done anything for ages. The team perhaps isn't really giving any updates. Nothing's happening. And then the moment you sell, it decides to double in price. And then the coin you sold it into suddenly decides it wants to become a stable coin. And then you're left there hating yourself. But then 2 weeks after you make your swap, your original analysis and why you sold in the first place is proved right. And the coin you sold turns into garbage again, and the coin you bought starts pumping. Meanwhile, that entire 2 weeks, you were in a bad mood for no reason, and you blamed yourself over nothing. Other simple mistakes, and I guarantee some people who are watching this video have already made this mistake as we speak, is the thinking of, I'll just sell some here now and buy back lower. That's what a lot of people are doing right now in this market. The only antidote to not making these unforced errors and not giving in to your emotions is to limit the amount of moves you make in your portfolio and never regret any decision that you make. I know a lot of you watching right now have probably made 20 trades and swaps in the last 5 days alone. You're not supposed to be trading that frequently if you're trading spot altcoins. If you want to buy and hold and just relax. But because of how the market tortures our emotions, we don't even realize what we're doing until we do our taxes and realize we made 1,000 trades. This is a mistake I made in 2021 myself, where I always felt like I had to be doing something in the market. And when I did my taxes, I realized I would have made way more money if I just held what I originally bought. Okay, now I'm going to do something a bit different to what I usually do on this channel. I'm just going to go through various sectors of altcoins and give my opinions on them and market analysis. So now I'll start with Solana and the Solana meme coin ecosystem. From around 0.07, when we snapped this daily trend, I've been bearish on SolETH. I think it's Ethereum's time to take the driving seat now. And the thing that concerns me with Solana is the meme coin ecosystem feels really, really tired. I noticed this when Chill Guy and all of these new generation Solana meme coins were pumping. I saw that Fandom was the #1 app. TikTok normies were buying Solana meme coins. And yet a lot of these classic Solana memes and Murad's list was still dumping despite all of that adoption. And it just shows you how tired the entire ecosystem is. But don't take that from me saying that Solana has topped for this entire cycle. No, I'm just giving short-term market analysis. I'm just expressing a view on SolETH. I still expect Solana to make fresh all-time highs and make people money. Next up, we have large cap meme coins. Ever since I said they were drunk on euphoria, they've been in a hangover. But let me be clear, I'm not bearish on any of the large cap meme coins. Take, for example, Bonk, somehow down almost 50% from its all-time high. And in a bull market, that's usually close to the bottom. I haven't lost any conviction unless this entire cycle has somehow topped. Bonk will recover and do fine, in my opinion. Pepe has been one of the strongest memes, and that's because of the low unit bias, and it's got that Robinhood listing, which is really carrying it. I think once Bonk gets onto Robinhood, hopefully during better market conditions than this, it will really take the spotlight again. The Dino coins are giving significant pullbacks as well. ADA, XLM, pretty brutal pullbacks across the board. Someone joined Premium and they sent me their portfolio and he told me he FOMO'd into all of those coins at the top. And I was like, what are you doing? You're making a big mistake. He sold into USBC and managed to save a lot of money. And that's just me relying on my past experience to know what a good and bad decision is in crypto. You can get your full portfolio checked out in my premium service and get early access to my picks. I'll leave the link to it in the pinned comments. The RWA sector also giving significant pullbacks. I'll be researching a new RWA gem to bring on this channel. Hopefully, I can find something exceptional for you. Next up, we've got the gaming sector. I think this sector is going to really take the limelight. Things like Beam are holding up really well in my opinion. It's holding well above its daily trend. And when the leaders of your sector are doing this well and holding this strong, that's a really positive sign. I think a massive gaming run is about to take place if Bitcoin recovers and gives altcoins oxygen to breathe. Now let's talk about A8, which I talked about in yesterday's video. After my video, it pulled 100% daily candle. I might be delusional, but I don't think that's entirely me and my video because at this point, it was 60 million market cap. I'm not sure if I have the power to single-handedly take something from $30 million to $110 million using my audience. Let me know what you think. Maybe I'm underestimating the power of my channel. Nevertheless, regarding A8, I think if Bitcoin and the market didn't nuke, A8 probably would have gone to 60 or 70 cents. It was holding so strong and it's still holding really well in line with Beam if you compare it with the altcoins in the market. I have no doubts in my position. I'm not selling a single token. You just need to look at the research to realize sooner or later, this is going to get priced as a serious project in line with the rest of gaming infrastructure coins with noble backers. When I uploaded that video, people in Premium were buying as well. A lot of people in Premium still want to add to their position. After my video, I think A8 got exposure that I never had before, as nobody really talked about it in detail, and a lot of people didn't even realize that it was on Coinbase. And when Bitcoin finally does recover, gaming altcoins are going to run so hard, and AA will be one of the strongest to pop, in my opinion. I don't mind if this market wants to go lower because I want to buy some more. Last thing I want to say is there will be no pump and dump bullshit on my channel. As I said, premium people still want to accumulate AA. They were buying more when the video went live. Same opportunity you had, so turn notifications on if you already haven't. I believe if I consistently bring this level of altcoin research on my YouTube channel with integrity, for example, MPL went 3x. I didn't bother sharing that on YouTube because I thought it was no longer a good opportunity. I think our community is literally going to run YouTube, and we'll likely be the most powerful community on crypto YouTube. And it comes through the quality of my research and the bond I have with you. I think people trust me because for all of this time I've been on crypto YouTube, I haven't had one controversy, and I truly appreciate that level of respect I have from people. Thanks for watching this far to the end.